As the Spartan Apella's resounding shout for war echoed through the ancient world, and Athens' siege of Potidæa tightened, the Delian and Peloponnesian leagues plunged into a cataclysmic struggle. This was the Peloponnesian War, a conflict of epic battles, cunning strategies, and profound suffering. What unfolded in its opening phase, known as the Archidamian War? How did Athens and Sparta wield their unique strengths against each other, and what iconic moments, like Pericles' funeral oration, defined this era? Join us as we unravel the first chapter of this monumental clash. Named after Spartan king Archidamus, the Archidamian War, 431 to 420 BCE, marked the first phase of the Peloponnesian War. Sparked by Sparta's declaration of war, driven by fears of Athenian imperialism, this phase saw both powers leveraging their strengths, Sparta's unmatched hoplite army and Athens' indomitable navy. Thucydides, the war's primary chronicler, provides a year-by-year account, revealing a web of shifting alliances and geopolitical agendas. Sparta positioned itself as a liberator of Hellas from Athenian dominance, while Athens championed democracy against oligarchic repression, echoing Cold War rivalries. The Peloponnesian League launched the war by invading Attica, Athens' agricultural heartland, employing a scorched earth policy to starve the city. These annual invasions caused widespread famine and civilian deaths, forcing refugees to seek shelter behind Athens' long walls. Pericles, facing criticism, urged Athenians to rely on their navy and avoid land battles where Spartan hoplites excelled. After a month of pillaging, the Spartans withdrew for their harvest, granting Athens a temporary reprieve. At the end of 431 BCE, Athens held a public funeral to honor its war dead. Pericles delivered his iconic epitaphos logos, funeral oration, immortalized by Thucydides, which celebrated Athenian democracy, mercantile spirit, and adventurousness. He framed the fallen as heroes who died for a unique democratic ideal, contrasting Athens' vibrant society with Sparta's militaristic rigidity. An excerpt captures this vision. "I would have you day by day fix your eyes upon the greatness of Athens, until you become filled with the love of her." The sacrifice which they collectively made was individually repaid to them, for they received again each one for himself a praise which grows not old, and the noblest of all tombs, in the hearts of men. Tragically, a year later, a devastating plague struck Athens, claiming Pericles' life and weakening the city's resolve. The Peloponnesian League sought to break Athens' blockade of the Gulf of Corinth, a strategic choke point near modern Patra. With Athens' navy stretched thin, the Peloponnesians, led by Navarch Nemus, deployed 47 ships, mostly Corinthian, against Athens' 20 triremes under Phormio. Phormio, a master of naval tactics, exploited dawn winds in the Gulf. He fanned out his ships, feigned attacks to cluster the enemy fleet, and struck when the wind disorganized the Peloponnesians, capturing 12 ships and destroying the rest. On land, Nemus led 3,000 hoplites to attack Acarnania's capital, Stratus. His army, split into 3 divisions, faltered when the central division of barbarian mercenaries advanced recklessly and was routed by Stratians skilled in close combat. The remaining divisions retreated, and Nemus fled, linking up with the defeated Peloponnesian fleet. Athens' victories at Rhium and Stratus solidified its naval dominance. Thebes, a Spartan ally, targeted Plataea, an Athenian-aligned city. In 429 BC, 300 Theban hoplites entered Plataea, aided by local oligarchs, but the democratic Plataeans, realizing their numerical advantage, killed or captured most of the intruders. Thebes attacked again, prompting Archidamus to besiege Plataea. The Spartans built a palisade and a mound to breach the walls, but Plataeans countered by raising their defenses and undermining the mound. Spartan siege engines failed, and fire projectiles caused destruction but missed key defenses. By 428 BCE, the Spartans opted to starve Plataea out, constructing a double wall of circumvallation. Thucydides notes that Plataea's non-combatants had been evacuated, leaving 400 Plataeans, 80 Athenians, and 110 women. By winter 428 to 427 BCE, starvation forced a desperate breakout. Only 220 Plataeans attempted escape, using ladders to scale the walls under cover of a storm. Despite Peloponnesian pursuit, 212 reached Athens, but the city sent no relief, adhering to Pericles' strategy of avoiding land battles. In 427 BCE, the remaining Plataeans surrendered, hoping for leniency. Thebes, however, pressed for harsh punishment. In a show trial, 200 Plataeans and 25 Athenians were executed, the women enslaved, and Plataea razed. Thebes seized the land, which remained desolate until 381 BCE. Pericles' death emboldened allies like Lesbos and Mytilene to revolt, but Athens' navy swiftly suppressed these uprisings. Thebes' aggression and Plataea's fall highlighted Athens' reluctance to aid allies on land, straining its alliances. Meanwhile, Sparta's early defeats at Rhium and Naupactos contrasted with its success at Plataea, revealing both power's strengths and vulnerabilities. The Archidamian War's opening years showcased Athens' naval supremacy and Sparta's land-based prowess, but also their strategic missteps. Athens' victories at sea and failure to save Plataea underscored its cautious strategy, while Sparta's humiliations were offset by its brutal triumph at Plataea. This phase set the stage for a protracted conflict filled with intrigue and suffering. Our series will continue exploring the Peloponnesian War's twists and turns, so stay tuned by subscribing and enabling notifications.